My grandfather is the sorcerer of the village. My name is Samar. I'm an 11-year-old girl who lives with my family in a house located in one of the beautiful and beloved rural villages to my heart. In our village, there is a school where I go to learn. I have friends and neighbors whom I play with daily in front of our homes. Life for me is beautiful, without any blemish. Now, let me introduce you to the family members whom I love and respect dearly. My father works like most men in the village in agriculture. My mother takes care of me and loves me dearly. Sometimes, I feel like she loves me more than my siblings. I have 3 siblings. Maram, who is the eldest at 16 years old, my brother Mason, who's 13 years old, and Majed, the youngest at 8 years old. My grandparents also live with us in the house. They are also very dear to me, especially my grandfather, who cares for me a lot. Everything was normal until last year. One day, I woke up before dawn, about an hour early, as I wanted to drink some water. As I walked through the hallway, I noticed the door to our barn was open. I was afraid the animals might escape, so I went to take a look and close the door. As I approached the barn door, I heard voices inside. At first, I thought there were thieves in the barn. However, I discovered it was my grandfather speaking. What was strange to me was that my grandfather was talking to someone as if he were running away from something. The person he was talking to had their face covered, as if they didn't want anyone to see them. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but I heard them talking about a village resident. After that person finished talking to my grandfather, I went to hide to see what would happen next. The strange person left the barn, and my grandfather closed the door and returned home. That day, I couldn't sleep. There were many thoughts racing through my mind. Who was that strange person? Why were they talking about that person in the village? Curiosity was killing me to know who that hidden person was and why they were hiding their face. All I could do was watch the person mentioned in that secret meeting. I also decided to watch my grandfather to see what he was hiding. After about 4 days from that night, something strange happened in the village, something unimaginable. That person my grandfather talked about, along with that strange man, had a terrible incident happen to them. That person became blind, and they suffered a serious illness. The village doctors told them that they wouldn't survive it, and that their days in this life were numbered. I couldn't hide my fear from my grandfather, and I became certain that he was not doing the right thing at all. I watched my grandfather more, and the surprise that hit me was shocking. I saw a woman with my grandfather in the barn, and this time I heard the conversation completely. I discovered that my grandfather was practicing magic on people for large sums of money, and this woman wanted to harm her neighbor. My grandfather took money from her and told her he would harm the victim within 2 days. As the days and months passed, the people in the village discovered what my grandfather was doing, so they decided to expel us from the village without any return. I was the one who suffered the most because I lost the life I loved. We lost our school, friends, and neighbors, and we became outcasts because of my grandfather. Now we live in a village far away from the one we used to live in. Despite feeling extreme regret for what he did practicing magic in the village, My grandfather is no longer loved by the family, especially since he was the reason we had to leave everyone we loved in the village. In the new village, there is a school I attend, and I have made many friendships. But they certainly do not know the reason for our move to this village.